All right, and we are back. I have not yet been interrupted, although I think, Vic, wouldn't you like to interrupt me and tell our audience out there?
Listen, at this point, we have had several costume changes via filter. This most recent one I won't say much about, but I will say bonjour back to all the listeners out there.
Bonjour, mon ami Goofballs. Congratulations to Vic for winning the first edition of Lightning Round.
We tied.
Thank you. We didn't. I won.
Speaking of I won, I wonder what Johnny's got for us today.
I was the only one that answered more than one question seriously, and I lost, apparently. Okay, my segment is called Did You Know?
Did you know?
Yeah. So in this segment called Did You Know? I'm going to say a stat that's notable of this week or where we are in the NFL season. And then I'm going to say, did you know? And then ask you a question related to that stat and open it up for friendly discourse, okay?
Love it.
Great.
I love it.
So the first thing that I'm going to ask, did you know that Tom Brady is ranked first.
Tom Brady plays for Las Vegas. You know what I mean?
Yes, the Tom Brady. Tom Brady's ranked first in completions and attempts and fourth in touchdowns and yards at 43 years old. Huh? That's pretty notable. Also, one of his official alternate nicknames is the Pharaoh.
No.
Yes, because Brandon Spikes used to call him that when he was on the Patriots, and Brady hated it or something and mentioned it once in an interview. And so now people have an alternate nickname for Tom Brady, the Pharaoh. So my question to you is, did you ever have like a nickname that never caught on that you try to give yourself? Or do you have a nickname that like people at home call you that like we don't? And I can start off if no one has one that comes to mind.
Well, this just happened to me that it's odd that you're even bringing it up here on this football show, just because last weekend I was watching a movie on Netflix. I was trying to get some feels for some sports movies and how they're written, and so I was watching some just to sort of find the formula. And there's a movie called Greater on Netflix. I don't know if it was in theaters or not, but it came out like maybe 2013, and it's a true story. Kid in the 90s. He was a very big kid, and he looked a lot like me, and he reminded me a lot of myself. And then there was a moment early on where his nickname in the movie, and I guess maybe in real life, was Cheesecake, which made me also freak out because when I was in high school, I was playing on a football team, and I was also the worst player, like in the way that this kid was described in the movie. And one time we went to Red Robin, and we ate the team, like some people from the team went to Red Robin, and then for eating the meals, and I was a very heavy set kid, probably the most heavy set in my high school. So, I have this complex about being overweight. And yet, when someone comes around, the server came around and said, would anyone like dessert? I didn't hesitate to say cheesecake, and nobody else wanted anything. And that ruined, that was not good. And then all of a sudden that became my nickname as well. To be fair, or at least luckily, I quit the team shortly after just for not being good enough. So there you go.
Well, all right, opening up some deep traumatic wounds. Sorry, Kenneth.
No, that's that, dude. People are so mean, and this man, just got a little emotional there, even thinking about that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a moment that a seminal moment, I guess. Is that what the right term? It was definitely one of those moments, but and it was odd to hear this kid that I related to so much in the movie early on, just like, oh, kid who kind of is down on himself, he wanted to play football at Arkansas.
He wanted to be greater.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there's plus it was like about him being bigger and bigger, you know, and he like kept getting eating to like I don't know. But that was an odd coincidence, I felt. Silence.
Oh,
This is just like after I ordered cheesecake and nobody said anything.
I would suggest watching the movie Draft Day.
Oh man!
If you're looking for football films.
Kevin Costner's nickname was Cheesecake in that one too, I think.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for Johnny because I thought you.
Oh yeah. I consider myself adept at deep range shooting in basketball in middle school, just because I was like better than most, but not good. And so I tried to give myself the nickname the Matzo Ball Bomber, like bombs from deep range. No one liked it, and it was bad. And I stopped, I think, after the third attempt, and no one responded. Like, you know what I mean? When like, so you keep mentioning something and no one respond, not even like, nah, we don't like that, or like, yeah, that's good. Just like silence. That's when you know something's really bad. No one wants to engage.
Now, if you wanted to be the matzo ball bomber, would you have something you shout out when you took a three, like "Soupy" or something like that?
Oklahoma City. No.
Oh no.
No. But when I started playing online video game basketball, one thing I would do that pissed off everyone, every random stranger I played with online, was every time I took a three, I said Mutombo, like that. Because Dikembe Mutombo is a center that never took any threes, and I would just say Mutombo
instead of Kobe in place of Kobe.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
pretty funny, actually.
I thought it was funny. It bothered everyone to the point where one game, like a little kid, like probably like 10, 11 years old, just went, "Stop!"
No.
Yeah, when I would say it.
Now, yeah, I was saying you said that Dikembe Mutombo took no threes. Now, not in the modern game, Dikembe Mutombo would have to take those threes.
No, I mean, you'd probably be in Andre Drummond territory. Maybe it would take like 4 a season.
4 a season,
maybe.
Cute
dog.
This isn't. Oh, hello, dog.
This is also going to get people to check in on YouTube.
It's a very good dog.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
This is not a sports related nickname. Because I don't think I had any there, but my niece, right before my niece was born, I made my brother and sister-in-law promise that I could like pick the name that my niece would call me. And because I just like, aunt was not going to happen. I didn't like it. Like it was just like, nothing about it was for me.
Too bougie.
It's like, it was just like too gendered. It was just like, I don't know. It just didn't fit with me. So I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to be called. I'm going to be Dragon, and that's going to be my name. And she's 2 now, and I am Draggy, and that is what she calls me.
That's good.
And her whole thing is having me chase her, which I don't know if niece stories are like just fun for the people involved and people that have kids, but I feel like all I want to talk about is my niece, and I'm constantly stopping myself from doing it.
Me too with my son. You just have to hold it back because you have to realize other people don't feel the same joy, and you don't want to rub it in their face.
Of course, yeah.
There's
just been a fun thing.
There's nothing better than just like chasing around like a little baby that's squealing with delight because they know you'll eventually catch them. It's the best.
My niece is straight up funny, and I feel like I can't talk to people about that. Like, she does this bit with me, which is the meanest bit that anybody has ever done, which is like, I'll be in the middle of talking to her, and she'll go, "Okay, bye," and I'll be like, "I'm not going to," and she's like, "Bye." And she just like will start walking away and laughs hysterically at me, just like desperately trying to get her attention. It's horrible. It's mean. And I love her for it.
Funny.
That's, you know what? That's that story because I was thinking, I've had many nicknames throughout the years, you know, G1, Conrad.
Whoa.
You know,
Conrad?
Yeah, that was a football thing because I had the helmet that went with the little like thing, the bar that went here. And my freshman year of high school, this school in Brooklyn, so kids like, yo, you look like a Viking with that helmet. I'm gonna call you Conrad. Anyway, but my first nickname ever was
Not a
Bubbles.
Viking name.
Yeah, no,
Bubbles?
I don't think so. Bubbles, because when I was an infant, my Uncle Paul came up with the nickname, and when I was a little kid, I was really, this little chubby little infant, and I would make bubbles in my mouth, and basically I would just make bubbles like like that.
Yeah, like spit bubbles.
Like yeah.
Like a gross little baby.
Yeah, apparently I was like an oil diffuser. Like I was just constantly bubbling, and so I was Bubbles. And so my Uncle Paul, I'm 30 years old now. I just turned 30, and my Uncle Paul said, "Hey, Bubbles."
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I mean that was 6 months ago, but I'm just trying to keep.
Happy birthday to you.
But that's kind of like a wrap up, because like in that situation, my Uncle Paul is you, Vic, and my parents who love the name Bubbles are you, Johnny.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like in that world, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That was good. That was fun. I like learning about each of you and your histories.
All right, let's do some scenes. Let's go. Yeah.
I got two more.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Second one. Did you know how bad the NFC East is? Philadelphia starting quarterback Carson Wentz leads the league in interceptions with 12, turnovers with 16 totals, sacks, 35 sacks for 237 yards negative. He leads the league in sack percentage, which is 9.3%. He's ranked 32nd in completion percentage, only above Sam Darnold. He's 32nd in net yards gained per pass attempt, only above Sam Darnold. He's 28th in QBR. And the Eagles are still in first place of the division. Question is there something that you're like kind of bad at, but you're still better than most people?
Improv?
Oh man.
Oh, JK.
Bad at anything?
Yeah, I'll start off while you guys are thinking. Cooking. I see very many people just like suck, like dangerous or ruining food constantly, like trying to cook. And it's like simple things that you just follow instructions and just like bake it properly. And maybe it's just all the cooking competition shows I watch, but I'm able to put together a recipe and it tastes good after. So I feel like I'm not going to go out on a limb and make like some, British Bake Off decoration gala cake or anything. But like I can make a casserole come out good.
Yeah.
So
Can I just say
it's not great, but it's better than most.
Related to British Bake Off,
Yes.
British baking show. I feel like during the pandemic or whether it's something else, I'm a lot more emotional lately. I was bawling, crying, emotional. I was like bawling, crying while watching a Charlie Chaplin movie, and I don't know what was happening. I was like, "What's happening to me right now?" But then I'm watching Great British Baking Off season 7, which is like I guess the most recent season other than the most recent season.
Yeah.
As we wait for new episodes, and I'm so connected to some of these people that I'm just dreading them getting kicked off or losing or whatever. Like this guy David, he's just like everything he does is like so meticulous, and I'm impressed by it. And whenever someone like gets a handshake from Paul, I feel like I'm about to lose it. And I don't know what that's all about, but it's happening.
It's a very simple show, and it's just delightful because no one's expecting like success, and so when they finally do, you're just elated for them.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even want no spoilers, but it's a great season. And if to answer your question, I think I've done yoga for a couple of years, and I think that I can do fine yoga, as opposed to like at this point when I was going to yoga class, I'll never go again. But because of it's over. But I think at this point, if I go to yoga class, I'll be one of the 2 or 3 or 4 best people, only because I think a lot of people are doing yoga for like, within their first 3 to 6 months maybe or whatever. So just because I've been doing it for a couple of years, I think I may be better than more of the people in the class, but I'm terrible at it.
I will say speaking to strangers, like out in public, which maybe feels like a weird one, but like spending time with my siblings. I have 4 siblings, and I'm the oldest, and I think maybe that's like part of the territory with that, though I think other people are probably good at it too. But like I find that more often than not, if like, you know, we need the time, or like, you know, sometimes I feel like I've been hired for stuff to do like man on the street interviews and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, I'm not like afraid to speak to people in public or stop them and be like, hey, can I ask you something real quick? And I feel like I'm positive I am not anywhere near the best at it, but like, I'm also not afraid to do it, which I think makes me better at it than your average person.
Yeah, I tried to do I succeeded in doing a man on the street thing, and it's like you need to do 40 minutes, 45 minutes to get like 2 minutes of usable material, and it's so hard to get it going if you're just like worried about like bothering someone, which I constantly am. So I applaud you for that.
But I think it's like you said, anybody can get good at it, because you do it for 45 minutes, you realize you're not going to die. Like, it's going to be fine. And then, like, it doesn't matter after that.
Have you guys seen this John Wilson show on HBO?
Not yet.
Well, potentially a great man on the street in the vein of some of these other people that have been doing it. I've only seen the first couple of episodes, but How To with John Wilson, I believe it's called.
Okay. Gotta watch that.
AG? I mean, I don't know. It's not up to me to move this along, but AG.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've thought about so many things, you know, but because I don't know what I'm good at, or, you know, I don't fucking know, man. It's weird to say something you're good at, you know, but maybe emails.
Oh, that's great.
I'd be bad at them.
Good.
Yeah, like, but I might be. I went to a really strict, like, K through 8, and it like manners and like writing letters. Like,
sit up straight, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There you go. See, that's like Dr. Mayako. That was the name of my principal or headmaster.
Sorry.
MAIOCCO.
I think so. I don't remember. He got hit by a subway.
Whoa,
No
probably.
way.
He's
Probably.
good. He's good. He just almost lost a leg.
I bet it was a foot long.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Just a little sandwich humor for the listeners.
You got caught. I mean, I don't. Dr. Mayako is never going to listen to Goofballs. If I wasn't making light of your subway accident, I just heard you were walking again, and you're
talking
old, so
directly to the person who's never going to listen to this.
I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah, you should.
Don't tell him
apologize
that.
to him.
Don't tell him if he's listening. Don't tell him that. I'm drunk and making fun of your subway accident.
This is East Coast time. I'm 12:30.
12:30 at
for
night.
me it is though. Anyway, yeah, emails. I'm pretty good at emails, but I'm not great at them.
Okay, last one. Did you know that Keenan Cole, punt returner for the Jacksonville Jaguars, got a punt return touchdown this week? Good for him. However, Devin Hester, the best punt returner in history, has more touchdowns himself than the Jacksonville Jaguars, Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans, or Tampa Bay Buccaneers have in their franchise's history. My question is, do you have any like memorable special teams play that like you remember that just kind of sticks with you?
Well, I mean,
I actually have a good one
yeah,
for you.
here we go. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I was there for the miracle at the Meadowlands.
Which one?
Where Deshaun Jackson ran back I think I was too young for the first one, but I was at the second one, and it was the funniest thing because our neighbor took us, had the tickets, and he invited us to the game. And my dad and I, he had great seats. It was like season tickets, and we were both like, "This is great, like, this could be a regular thing, And the game was going great. Eli was just throwing it downfield, and then the Eagles came back and won. And our neighbor who took us was so quiet. It was like we were this bad luck charm, and he never invited us ever again.
Wow.
Yeah, mine also is the Miracle at the Meadowlands too, which I think still stands as the only walk-off punt return touchdown in NFL history. And I remember watching it in my very small, hot second-story studio apartment with one window in Van Nuys, and I was just so mad at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then I just kept watching, and I was jumping up and down. I grabbed my dog and did a little celebration dance after. Just a wonderful moment for me by myself in a sad small apartment. But yeah, that one, I don't think I'll ever forget Tom Coughlin's face on the TV afterwards. He was just so mad. He was just so internally mad, he just stubbed all of his toes at once, but couldn't let anyone know how much it hurt.
I'll just I'll make it brief. I think I remember Percy Harvin returning the second half kickoff in the Super Bowl for a touchdown, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, this makes it so worth it to have traded for Percy Harvin." But it's just the Seahawks were up, I think 22-0. That made them up to 29-0. I get it. It was nice to have that. People make it seem like it won the Super Bowl. Pretty sure the Broncos were on their way to losing that thing no matter what. But at the end of the day, that's kind of what I remember.
Hey, I'd rather have a 29-point lead than a 22-point lead, Ken.
Sure. Super Bowl.
I'm a numbers guy.
That you are.
And then, of course, mine is going to be the 2006 film Invincible, based on true events. We get 30-year-old Vince who walks on to the Eagles and is the only person to do so in the history of mankind and football kind. Mark Wahlberg gives a tour de force performance, and it just really, I think, changed the way that we thought about him as an actor.
I have a Vince Papale signed football.
No way.
Yeah, he signed it for my mom at some nursing or medical conference in Texas. And then
I have a Vince Papale signed defibrillator.
Oh, Kenneth. You're better than that. You're better than that joke.
Defibrillators. Defibrillators.
Yeah.
It's on your shirt. Filla.
Oh, that's good.
Kenny, you good, dude?
No.
And that's the end of Did you know?
Sure. I did. Well, we're coming up here on the countdown. We're gonna kick it over here to AG for a 5-minute shoot the shit segment.
All right, here's my segment. Tony Reali. You know what? I'll just shoot the shit with this. I just want to, I'm just gonna say this, Vic. Thanks for having me on. Are You the Two for those guests and all that.
A show that's been off the stage for almost 2 years now.
It was so fun, though. It was.
You were so wonderful on it. You were so good. It was a dream to have you. Are you kidding?
It was a blast. I really my shoot the shit, Kenny, might be less than 2 minutes, but it's been fun to do this tonight. I think we've all full disclosure, so my family had a little dinner tonight, and I was drinking the hard stuff around 6:30, and I was like, oh shit, I have a podcast, and I kind of cooled it down, but I got kind of tired, so I was like, let's pick it up.
Vodka Red Bull.
Right before, and
Absolutely.
yeah, I got the RPMs. I redlined a little bit midway through this podcast, and overheated the engine. So I'm not,
Well, I'll shoot the shit with you real quick.
Yeah, shoot the shit.
Just something that the miracle of the Meadowlands made me think, because I mean, you're on the Giants side and Johnny's obviously on the Eagles side, and you and Vic are on the Giants side. But is there a single player in sports? I'll just open it up to sports. Is there a single player in sports that you just hate because of something they did against your team?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I gotta think. Joe Carter.
Joe Carter, the Blue Jays.
Yeah, fuck him.
Hey,
he's the nicest
on.
guy. He's the nicest guy. Everyone loves him. He had a walk-off home run to win the World Series. It did, but fuck him. Him and Junior Seau.
Joe Carter. Yeah, it's I mean, I even struggle myself. Maybe it was a very good Johnny question because of how many people in the Philadelphia sports world to outward.
I feel like mine would maybe be Vince Carter, because when I was like really getting into basketball, as a Raptors viewer more often than not, I mean, like anytime Vince Carter would come back up to Toronto, just the reception was like toxic. It's the worst reception I've ever seen for a sports player, that you almost did feel bad for him a little bit, though I think later on he buried it a little bit, and then like in his last season, and it seemed like people are now okay with him. So I don't know where I stand with Vince Carter is what I'm trying to say here.
Where are you on Kawhi Leonard?
I hate him, but I also don't fault anybody for being happy that he got a ring up to Toronto.
Vince Carter is that guy who, when I stopped following the NBA in 2008, I was just like, Vince Carter's doing something. He's in the league still. What, did he retire last year? I remember being in high school, and I'm not that young. I remember being in high school and watching his slam dunk contest with the elbow, and how big of a deal that was. And just thinking about those people that I knew back then who could be, I don't know who knows? I mean, high school, he's still playing.
Yeah.
Oldie but a goodie.
Vince Carter was those three. I can't tell you how many times I've watched, just typed in Vince Carter top 10 dunks.
My favorite dunk contest I ever watched was 2001 McDonald's All-American High School dunk contest between James White, who went to Cincinnati, and David Lee, who went to Florida and then had a career in the NBA with the Warriors and such. And I don't even know if their dunks were that good in hindsight, but at the time I was just like, oh man, McDonald's, that was so good.
Aaron Gordon has probably like 3 of the top 10 slam dunk dunks of all time, and he hasn't won one. The whole competition is a sham. It's a joke.
Oh.
And Joe Carter can go fuck himself.
All right. Speaking of shams and jokes, that's the end of our episode of Goofballs this week. As usual, we'll go around and give everybody a chance to say some final words, whether that is a plug or just some words of advice or a book recommendation. Beginning with Vic Michaelis, thank you so much for joining us. What would you like to say?
Hey, thanks for having me. If you're on TikTok and you want to see me really confuse some people, I am at Soccer Hottie 2003 on TikTok. And other than that, here's my hope and my prediction is I think the Jets are going to turn it around. I really have a good feeling. You're going to be seeing them in the playoffs this year. I got a feeling. But maybe, Johnny, maybe.
It can't happen.
Maybe it could. Maybe some other teams will get stuck in quarantine. A bunch of them will get sick, and then there has to be another team. And the Jets, nobody's coming near them. So
yeah, we didn't mention that isn't Goodell doing like a emergency 8th playoff team just in case?
just in case they might.
Oh,
Yeah, for
I
each.
didn't hear this.
Yeah, for each conference is like a, alternate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Here we
Jets are going to
go.
be the alternate.
Okay, but maybe. Johnny, have hope.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Jets-Lions Super Bowl.
Can I just say really quick,
in
how
like
fun.
April 2021.
They should have like a mishmash team for that 8th spot of like all of everybody's favorite players from the teams that are like never going to win a Super Bowl. And then that team should get to compete and have a chance to try and win.
Now you definitely sound like a dragon. Where it's just
Wow.
they're coming over. I'll just put together a mishmash. I'll find some stuff in the fridge. They won't starve. It's fine.
Johnny, what would you like to mishmash this week?
I'll plug myself as always. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JGS Comedy. Follow Goofballs football podcast at Goofballs P on Twitter, at Goofballs Podcast on Instagram. Like us on Facebook, Goofballs a Football Podcast. And check out this podcast as a Zoom video on YouTube.com. Search Goofballs Podcast, and you can see all the fun Zoom filters that Vic used.
That's
Kenneth,
right.
back to you.
Thank you so much. Andrew, Grace, what would you like to plug? What would you want people out there to sip on?
Hey, Goofball Nation. I love those throwing pens. I don't know. Just keep, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Andrew, Grace. And I will plug HBO Max. It's a good streaming service. And check out HBO Max Originals. They got more shows than you could ever know. And I mean that. That's it for this week of Goofballs. Come back next week and we will goof around again.
Cowboys suck.